We've already established the regulars that doesn't do anything. It just puts a load of time everywhere. It doesn't actually help the driver do the leading. It's not like being outdoors. You're not going to really do things up like that. If anything, it's psychological, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be a bit of a confidence boost saying that I need to get in the zone. Just see what happens, and that might just be a good way for Will just to get familiar with the kart, as he's in kart number 20 now. So
well, when it comes to familiar, hopefully he won't be driving it like that in the race.
No, hopefully not, because we've seen a few twitchy moments this morning already when they changed to the normal layout that we're using at the moment in preparation for the semi-finals and the finals.
Absolutely. So we're starting their qualifying runs now, and we're seeing the first times come in. Steve Gray on provisional pole. Richard Jutes has now taken provisional pole by nearly half a second. Simon Robinson completes the lap, he's third.
Alex Van Gien
up to second.
Now that was
so Mara third, but Van Gien second. That's amazing. Paul Davis tops a lot of them. Just.
Yeah, I mean it's especially with the bad evening that Alex had last night when he had the tete-a-tete with Arnaud Tignes. So it'd be nice to see him actually get a little bit further up the grid and see how he does.
And the final qualifier, Will Buxton. Where's he going to be positioned? Last.
With he didn't do too badly though. 35.4, but we'll see how he gets on. We'll see how he gets on, and so yeah, we're just waiting for everyone to line up ahead of Heat 3. Well, Heat 3 for round 4 before the semi-final. So they're getting everyone into position. But we've been discussing that, we've had people having good races. We've had people not having the greatest races. Of course, as in Akram, that had issues with the pit stops earlier on, where he had to do. I think he had a penalty for his mandatory pit stop, and then the second pit stop that also went awry. So he didn't find himself at the best position on that grid, which was only 9, because we've had one chap, as we were discussing, Sean didn't come in because he had an accident yesterday.
Absolutely. Now what is interesting that we're seeing creeping up here is the fastest times of the day so far have actually all come in the previous race. So clearly maybe the track is getting faster as it warms up. We touched on the idea of temperatures. It's very cold here in Milton Keynes. I think this morning people were coming in and seeing something like -6 or whatever.
Yeah.
Certainly Phil Stanley, who's one of the owners here at Formula Fast, came in and said, -6 out there this morning. So not exactly hot. On the track, obviously the temperature will be coming up as the day goes on. But Paul Davis is going to bring him round to the start. Richard Jute in second. And Richard Jute started off so well, but now fighting for a place to get into the semi-final. This is going to be make or break for Richard Jute as he starts second, but it's Paul Davis taking him across the line in the lead. Richard Jute, Alex Van Gien, Ross O'Mara, Steve Gray in 5th, and out on that lap there's Paul Davis. He seems to be pulling away a little bit on this opener. He's got a couple of car lengths lead. Everyone's slipping and sliding a bit as the tyres build up temperature.
And we've seen number 16 go past number 11, and Will Buxton, I think, is trying to make a move up the inside. He's got the inside line coming onto the back straight, so nice move by Will there.
Amazingly forceful driving by Will Buxton. He's side by side down the back straight, sends it up the inside of, is it Chris Pease? He takes the position.
Yes.
I think it was Chris Pease, yeah. And there's Will Buxton, very fiery indeed. So clearly getting some inspiration from what he's watching on television.
Well, especially when he knows a lot of the drivers as well, and with the driving that we've seen with Max Verstappen, let's not forget that guy, a very accomplished karter before he jumped to F3 and then went to F1.
And then quite a robust driver like Will Buxton is seeing here. Maybe he's been overnight on the texting Max to get a few pointers of what to do, because Will Buxton is heading for the back of this group now. There he is interview. In fact, has he lost a place against Chris Pease? I think Chris Pease might take me back, despite what they're saying. Pit stop early. That's Steve Gray. Now we've seen Steve Gray pit early on every race. We've also seen Steve Gray appear to underperform every race. Maybe there's a link.
It could be. I mean, it could upset whatever he's been doing, and it'd be interesting to find out what Steve has to say, whether he's just not been up to par, or there's been a couple of things that he's found that he hasn't gotten used to on the track, or the dust, like Bradley said earlier on, that's another key factor. But the track's getting faster and faster. I mean, Paul Davis is running on a 33.464 that he's just set on lap 3, but Richard Jute, he's got a bit of a gap on Jute as well, 1.7 seconds at the moment.
Absolutely right there, Alex. This is we're looking now at Paul Davis, who's looking to break away.
That's right. Yeah. So Paul Davis is making the jump for it, but Alex Van Gien is still keeping in touch with. No, that's right. Ross O'Meara a fraction behind him, 6/10. Pete Lepin in 5th. So the top 5 at the moment are actually split by 4 seconds. So it's going to be very, very interesting how the drivers actually perform. I mean, all of them are running between a 33.4 and a 33.6. So the pace is there, James. It's just a case of who's going to make the strategy call and when they're going to decide to go banzai and get the laps in before they make that important stop.
Absolutely right. They're all fully on it. Mostly fully on it. It's Paul Davis, though, who I think is attempting to make a big enough gap to pit and come out still with the lead.
But Richard Duke is keeping him honest, though. I mean, I have to say, he's 8/100ths of a second behind the leader at the moment. Alex Van Gien is still very, very consistent. And we've just seen a little bit of a replay there. Was that? I'm just trying to. That was Chris Pease.
Pease in the pits, actually.
Yep.
Pease in the pits. And Chris Pease has dropped behind Steve Gray as a result of that pit stop. Will Buxton passed Pease and then fell back again. And I think Pease might have been having a little bit of a tussle with Gregos Alentovic.
Could have very well been the case. I mean, in comparison, I mean, the whole of the field is actually lapping within 1.2 seconds of each other, so the track is getting faster and faster. So it's Paul Davis who isn't actually making a break for it as we might suspect he would have done from Richard Duke in 2nd place, James.
Well, he's pulled out 1.6 seconds. Obviously, clearly, that's not going to be enough to make the pit stop and come back out in the lead. However, really, he doesn't need to necessarily make a stop and come out in the lead. He just needs to be in front when everybody's made their stops. And so that's going to be an important consideration. If he can't break from Duke to that extent in Van Gien, maybe he's just going to start looking across and see where he's going to come out when he makes a pit stop of his own and just settle for that. But at the moment, there's nobody really in front of him for any distance. So he's probably wise to stay out as long as he can. Yeah,
definitely. And the thing is that everyone will react to what Paul Davis actually does and whether someone might decide to start that domino effect. So, you know, we could see Ross O'Meara, we could see Alex Van Gien deciding to pit earlier than expected and think, well, I've got an opportunity here where I could get a top 3 finish. I'm running 3rd at the moment, I'm having a good race. Let's see what happens. Let's roll the dice and see what happens.
Absolutely. With a little bit of sort of plus or minus, they're reasonably evenly spaced, these top runners at the moment. So it's purely going to be down to strategy and actual speed. Nobody's fighting, nobody's bumping into each other, nothing like that that's actually going to cause time loss. So everyone is really, with the spaces they've got, everyone can see everything they need to. They're not, they're not going to non-car blocking their view. So they're actually able to run at whatever pace they can generally do. Having just said that, of course, Richard Duke is coming under increasing pressure from Alex Van Gien in their battle over 2nd place.
Yeah, Van Gien, Alex is, you know, when he gets going, he gets a bit between his teeth, and he's just set the fastest lap of the race of 33.4. So he's right on Duke's heels. I mean, there's a couple of kart lengths, if that, between the pair of them. So Alex is lining him up for a move, and I would think that's probably going to be down the back straight.
Yes, and we know that Alex Van Gien is a very, very fiery driver. He's really going to be forced the issue on this. And Alex Van Gien, one of the most enthusiastic competitors, he likes nothing more to be in a fight. Even better, fight up at the front of the field.
Definitely, and it's always very gratifying, very gratifying for a driver to have that opportunity to fight at the front, because then they know, right, I'm really enjoying this. But they also know that they've got to have their wits about them, and that's the big key. You've got to have your wits about you, because if you make a slip up, and Ross O'Meara is not that far behind them, I mean, just under 2 seconds, but the gap looks to be visibly decreasing as well, with Pete Lepin actually just going fastest of all, 33.412.
It was Pete Lepin who was waving away there about something. He's not always a pit stopper. There's a pit stopper. It's the 20. The 20. That's Will Buxton. Will Buxton. He's waving again in the pits. That's been more than once this weekend. He's been waving, and he resumes 10th and last as he leaves the pit lane there. Now the fastest lap of the race is going up and down these top 5. It's been Paul Davis. It's been Richard Duke. It's been Alex Van Gien. It's been Pete Lepin. Currently, it's Ross O'Meara, and it's down at 33.3, which, as we've seen, is very fast.
It's like a high-paced game of ping pong where you just never know where the ball's going to end up, and it's one of those things. I mean, look at the entire field, though. You know, we've got Ross O'Meara on 33.3, and then you've got Will Buxton. He's only 1.1 seconds behind on pure pace.
Absolutely. It's very tight, really, it's so tight that the least little thing shows up. And obviously, if you have a bit of an incident, or you've got the pace, but you've had some incidents earlier on, that gap will be there and it will stay. I
think Ross O'Meara, you can see that he's pumping in the lap times quite consistently. I mean, Richard Jute, Alex Van Gien, Ross O'Meara, they're all running in the 33.4s as we've got that. Kind of make out who that was.
And that's the race leader. It's the race leader, Paul Davis.
So he now drops to 5th.
Richard Jute assumes the lead, and he's been passed by Buxton. We'll see. No, not quite. Might have been close to Steve Gray though. But anyway, Paul Davis drops to 6th place. Richard Jute assumes the lead. Alex Van Gien is now taking 2nd. Ross O'Meara 3rd. Pete LePan 4th. Simon Robinson has moved up to 5th place at the expense of Paul Davis, who's coming to 6th, having made a pit stop. Now, the question is, can Paul Davis set the kind of lap times that's going to get him back into the lead when they all pit? Because currently fastest, it's the race leader, Richard Jute.
Yeah, it's going to, as I said, it's going to kickstart this domino effect, and Richard Jute needs to bridge a gap on Alex Van Gien, but of course, Van Gien's keeping him honest. He's keeping within a couple of car lengths from him, and you've got O'Meara and LePan not that far behind him, and the top 4 is split by 2.8 seconds effectively, so anyone could make a mistake out of those top 4 and potentially bring another car, or even the 2 at the back could still come through. And as I say that, Richard Jute, then Pete LePan, they're trading the fastest laps again.
The fastest time is jumping around this top 5. Into the picture then comes Richard Jute, and there's Alex Van Gien. Now, Alex Van Gien, a perennial competitor in the BRKC series, done almost every single race that there's ever been since 2011. He knows exactly the situation, he knows the game, and he knows he's in 2nd place. And what we can expect from this is a very enthusiastic Alex Van Gien to really have the bit between his teeth. He can run at the front, he can run at the tail sometimes, he can run everywhere in the race. Every time he does it, it's believable, and it's believable right now.
No, not at all, not at all. I mean, Alex is. I spoke with Alex earlier on when he came in this morning, and was very. He was a bit disheartened with what happened last night, but he said, "I'm going to try and do my best and make amends for it," and he's making up for it in spades at the moment. So. It's going to be very interesting to call, because we're waiting for any one of the top 4 to pit, with Pete LePan still having set the fastest lap of the race, but now it's Ross O'Meara again in 3rd, 33.247. So as I said, it is like a high-paced game of ping pong. You just don't know where the ball's going to end up and who's going to smash that winning shot. And looks like Ross O'Meara is doing that in terms of lap time, but Richard Jute is still keeping Alex Van Gien at bay. There is a bit more of a gap between the 2 as they have just come down off the back straight.
Absolutely, Alex, and Ross O'Meara is the current fastest on the track there. So a great show there by Ross O'Meara. He's running in 3rd. He's trying to close down Alex Van Gien. He's trying to close down Richard Jute, and to do so, he's set the fastest lap. I think he needs to just draw up on him and take him on man to man.
Yeah, I mean, it may not come down to the pit stops. That's the big thing, and if you can do it on merit, like we've seen multiple drivers do this weekend. I mean, it's like the race between Ruben Boutons and Sander Debates a couple of races ago. I mean, Sander was there on pure pace, and he showed it, and they set the same lap times.
Absolutely matching each other for times. Equally very, very close on times are these leaders. Here they are, the 4 leaders. They're going to be coming into view in a second. We've got Richard Jute with the lead. There he is, Richard Jute, Alex Van Gien, and that's Ross O'Meara. And Pete LePan is actually closing in with a lot of them, although Ross O'Meara still happens to have the fastest lap. So Jute, Van Gien, O'Meara and LePan, they are the top 4 at the moment. Obviously waiting to see what they do in the pit stops, because I think Paul Davis and Steve Gray are waiting, having made a pit stop, to see just how it works out in their own fight towards the front.
Well, Paul, you never know, Paul could factor into this. I mean, he's only 11 seconds off the battling quartet at the front of the field, as Ross O'Meara again does a 33.118. So he's showing that he's making Van Gien know, I'm there and I'm ready, and if you make a mistake, mate, I'm going to pounce.
Absolutely, Alex Van Gien is fully focusing on Richard Jute up in the front there. He's although he hasn't actually got Ross O'Meara tackling him at the moment, all it'll take is a slight brush in the wall, and O'Meara will be all over the back of him. Equally bad will be Pete LePan all over the back of him as well, and Alex Van Gien, the slightest little mistake, and he'll be down to 4th.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're still waiting for the top 4 to pit, so with 8 minutes remaining, it's Richard Jute just doing a sterling job, just keeping Alex Van Gien, who I think has just closed up on the back, just coming into that hairpin. a little bit, and they're coming up alongside a back marker now. I think that might be Will in the number 9, in the
Actually,
number 20.
I'm not sure it is Will.
Oh, no, it's number 16.
It's Gregos Elektrovic. Now, Gregos Elektrovic will get the blue flag, yes, but he's got to let 4 karts through. Will he realise it?
Oh, Van Gien pits. Van Gien has pitted now.
This is interesting. Van Gien has seen what's going on. I think he's responded to them catching the back marker.
Van Gien's blown it. Yellow light. Penalty pit stop. That's put him out of it.
Just like last night. Unlucky for Alex Van Gien. What a time to do that. He got a penalty yesterday in the final race we saw, and he's got another penalty now. He waves his arms. He knows exactly what has happened. Worst of all, he knows it's all his own fault. It's one of those things. You've got to take risks in the pit lane at this level. Alex just pushed it a little bit too far on where he was reference to lights.
Yeah, like Azim Akram last night as well. He was I have a feeling that Azim was absolutely beside himself with grief, just thinking, oh, I can't believe I've just done that. And
worse, he did it twice.
Yes,
he did.
He did in the same right. Yeah.
He got a penalty on his own penalty. Here's Van Gien taking his penalty stop. Now, how far will this drop him down? Because, if you remember, he was right at the front. He may not be asked. Here comes Chris Pease. Chris Pease can fight for position with Alex Van Gien. They're over 7th. So it's not as if he's gone to the back. So it's, while he will be very disappointed, there won't be any consoling him. I know Alex, he will not be happy with that. As far as he's concerned, he could be out of the race and it wouldn't be any worse. But in terms of points, it's not as if he's last.
No, that's got to be some consolation for Alex, and I know him through the Missed Apex F1 podcast as well. So we do have the odd debate, and he's a good guy, and glad to see him out there racing, getting it the best he can.
And he's not got a boring time either, because it's Chris Pease who's now trying to close him down. Alex Van Gien in this race, you'd have to say, is a bit faster than Pease, but Pease will have the bit between his teeth. Oh, we've got a pit stopper. It's the 17, it's Ross O'Mara. Ross O'Mara comes in from 2nd place. This is the the second of our leaders, and another pit stopper from the lead. Is it? Let's have a think.
That's
21. That's Simon Robinson.
Yeah,
so, Simon was up there as well. So Richard Duke carries on in the lead. Ross O'Mara pit and needs to come out third. Simon Robinson has dropped to 6th, but Ross O'Mara seems to have come out 3rd in all of that. So a great pit stop there by him. Paul Davis, though, big beneficiary, he pitted early. He's now back up to 2nd behind the flying Richard Duke. However, who is fastest? It's still Ross O'Mara, who just seen pitted, resumes 3rd place.
Yes, I mean, Richard's now got to put in some laps to get the distance between himself and Paul in order to make sure that he has a comfortable pit stop like we saw in Matt Harsham a few races ago. So that's going to be the telling point. If Duke blows a pit stop, then it's all over and done with.
Worst of all, if Duke blows this overtaking move, because Duke, Alex, is unseen by us, is now caught a back marker. He's trying to work his way through, but he's not passed. This could be costing him time. It could be costing him time. This is playing to Paul Davis's hands. That's why Paul Davis pitted early, because he wanted to have some clear space and run on his own. But Duke there seemed to get caught behind the back marker, and that could well affect his race. Meantime, Alex Van Gien has pulled ahead and pulling away a bit from Chris Pease. There they are in picture now, Van Gien, and they're closing in on Will Buxton, who's running 10. But Richard Duke there, we need to see where he is, reference that back marker, because that could have cost him. But no, he's all right, he's running around on his own there. And I think I might have just read too much into nothing. But Richard Duke carrying on. In fact, his last lap is his personal best of the race so far. So no lack of speed from Richard Duke there. He's really looking good indeed. Maybe he could win this, but it's going to come down to that pit stop. We're going to have to see what the gap really is.
There's a bit of a tangle
shot
there.
At the bottom there. That was the 12. That is Pete LePan. That's Pete LePan. That must have been on Ross O'Mara.
Yeah, I think that might have been if that was the number 17.
And that's for 3rd and 4th.
Ross O'Mara, who's been the fastest man out on track throughout the race.
Absolutely. So we're seeing Paul Davis just go through there. Paul Davis now back up to 2nd for O'Mara and LePan. Steve Gray is running in 5th place. That's about where we've seen him running generally. And I know he wanted more than that for this weekend, but he's against such massive opposition that it's very easy to underestimate how good a 5th place really is. So Richard Duke continues in the lead. He has a 10-second lead over Paul Davis. Now this is almost enough to come in and go out in the lead. So Richard Duke, we can see, is he going to stay a bit longer? He's got 3 minutes. He's got time if he can pick up the pace just a little bit to make it, so he could well come out still in front of Paul Davis. But right now, if he pits, it's going to be so unbelievably close. It would be too close to call, Alex.
And plus also Paul Davis will have the momentum actually to potentially overtake him if Duke has a slightly slower pit stop. But I mean, I think over the next couple of laps Richard Duke needs to make a little bit more of an inroad, but it depends on whether he's comfortable where he is.
Duke could come out in the lead, but it would be too close to call. If he does come out, if he does pit now and comes out, he's going to have through those first couple of corners, it's going to have to be the widest kart in history, isn't it? Oh yes.
Oh yes, it will literally be the width of the track and then some to make that possible. But
well, we've only got 2.5 minutes. We've not seen Richard Duke in the pits yet. We're still waiting for that stop. I'm sure he's not been in, has he? No, he's definitely carried on in the lead there. And so Richard Duke. We have occasionally missed pit stops. There's been so much to look at that we have occasionally missed them. So Duke may have that on merit, but we're just going to sort of try and get a handle on it. If he has not pitted yet, he's only got 2 minutes to do so. So it's going to be one of the last stops.
Yes, and I'm just waiting for race control to actually bring out the last chance to pit board, which I would think is going to be very, very shortly.
Yeah, we'll know exactly what the situation is before the end to those viewers who are watching. Yeah, apologies for our slight concern over whether Duke's pitted or not. It just seems staggeringly late in the race to do it, although he could be judging it by that last point.
Maybe. He might be thinking, right, last stop, it's the last chance at the saloon. I've got every opportunity here. Make the pit stop a good one and go from there.
If it's a good stop, he's done enough. If it's a good stop, he has done enough. As I say, I think he has not pitted, but I'm just starting to have some crazy little doubts. It will be apparent. As I say, they cannot pit on the last lap, so we will know before the end of the race if Duke has pitted or not, and we'll keep everyone updated on that.
And Richard Duke and Paul Davis are actually quite level on time, so Paul Davis hasn't actually made any inroads into Richard Duke.
And there's Duke at the end of the backstretch. He's just put Will Buxton down a lap, and yeah, with a minute to go. I think,
there you go. Duke's in.
Here's the race leader. This is the important stop. It's only 11 seconds. They are going to be side by side at best. It's he's trying to be conservative as Richard Duke. He's doing a great job on the stop, but here comes Paul Davis. Paul Davis, it's going to be side by side. There's Paul Davis in the red.
And
Richard Duke, has he done enough?
Duke makes it by the skin of his teeth, but Davis nearly went up the inside of him.
Absolutely.
He nailed that perfectly.
But this is going to have to be two of the most perfect laps of his life. That check is going to be out before we know it. And Richard Duke has just done enough to come out ahead of Paul Davis. Paul Davis set the fastest lap of the race so far in his attempts to catch Duke coming out the pit lane there. Here they are down the back straight. There's Duke in the dark suit and Davis in the red behind. And I don't think Davis is close enough to make a lunge. Here's the checker. It's going to be Richard Duke. He's won twice now. And Richard Duke wins again. What a race that was. He really took it to the wire on the pit stop there, but he needed to because he wasn't pulling that much away from Paul Davis. He rolled the dice, left it to the very end. It just worked out for him. He's defeated Paul Davis in second, but look at this. Ross O'Mara, third place. We've not seen that from him yet. So Ross O'Mara, fantastic third place for him and a very fast third place. If we look, he's one of the fastest on the track. He's second fastest by a mere 0.008 of a second.
And brilliant sportsmanship between Duke and Davis, congratulating each other on. I think Paul knew it was going to be too close, and it was that close. Came down to literally the penultimate lap of the race.
And total opposite ends on strategy there,
yes.
Right? We had Paul Davis pitting very early. He was one of the first stoppers, gambling on making it time when he didn't need to, really. There was no reason as such. He had his own idea. And he made it, almost made it work. Richard Duke stayed out there and barely did enough. It literally came down to tenths of seconds as to whether it was going to work or not. Ross O'Mara, as we're saying, came in third. That's a great result for him. Pete Lepan, another good result in fourth. Steve Gray, now almost a consistent fifth place for him, which we've been seeing all weekend long. And Simon Robinson there in sixth. Alex Van Gien, he picked up a penalty, had to pit stop twice, but he's in seventh place. That could have been an awful lot worse, couldn't it?
It could have been a heck of a lot worse. He could have actually been down at the tail end, Charlie, of the field.
He could have been well back there.
Or he could have been flagged again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's with Alex, you never know. Chris Pease in eighth place. He had a bit of a battle with Alex Van Gien once Alex had taken his penalty stop. Gregos Aleknovics, he is in ninth, and rounding him out, of course, NBC F1 commentator Will Buxton.
I have to say, give credit to Will where it's due. I mean, he, within the first couple of laps, a nice clean pass on I think it was Chris Pease, if I remember correctly. So yeah, you know, it just goes to show that everyone's, yes, it's competitive, but everyone's here to have a bit of fun, and that's the big thing about the BRKC. You know, there's great sportsmanship, there's titanic battles, but at the end of the day, everyone's here to have a laugh.
Well, the sportsmanship is very, very good when you consider there's